Battle of Uhud. According to the majority of scholars, these ayat are describing the Battle of Uhud, as Ibn Abbas, Al-Hasan, Qatada, As-Sudi, and others said. The Battle of Uhud occurred on a Saturday in the month of Shawwal on the third year of Hijrah. Ikrimah said that Uhud occurred in the middle of the month of Shawwal, and Allah knows best. The reason behind the Battle of Uhud. The idolaters suffered many casualties among their noble men at the Battle of Badr. The caravan that Abu Sufyan led returned safely to Makkah, prompting the remaining Makkan leaders and the children of those who were killed at Badr to demand from Abu Sufyan to spend this money on fighting Muhammad. Consequently, they spent the money from the caravan on warfare expenses and mobilized their forces, including the Ahabish tribes. They gathered 3,000 soldiers and marched until they camped near Uhud facing Al-Madinah. The Messenger of Allah Sallam led the Friday prayer, and when he finished with it, he performed the funeral prayer for a man from Bani an-Najjar called Malik bin Amr. The Prophet then asked the Muslims for advice, if they should march to meet the disbelievers or fortify themselves in Al-Madinah. Abdullah bin Ubay advised that they should remain in Al-Madinah, saying that if the disbelievers lay siege to Al-Madinah, the siege would be greatly disadvantageous to them. He added that if they decide to attack Al-Madinah, its men would face off with them, while women and children could throw rocks at them from above their heads, and if they decide to return to Makkah, they would return with failure. However, some companions who did not attend the Battle of Badr advised that the Muslims should go out to Uhud to meet the disbelievers. The Messenger of Allah went to his home, put on his shield, and came out. The companions were weary then and said to each other, "Did we compel the Messenger of Allah to go out?" They said, "O Messenger of Allah, if you wish, we will remain in Al-Madinah." The Messenger of Allah said, "ما ينبغي لنبي إذا لبس لأمته أن يرجع حتى يحكم الله له." The Messenger of Allah marched with 1,000 of his companions. When they reached the Shout area, Abdullah bin Ubay went back to Al-Madinah with 1/3 of the army, claiming he was angry the Prophet did not listen to his advice. He and his supporters said, "If we knew that you would fight today, we would have accompanied you. However, we do not think that you will fight today." The Messenger of Allah marched until he reached the hillside in the area of Uhud, where they camped in the valley with Mount Uhud behind them. The Messenger of Allah said, "لا يقاتلن أحد حتى نأمره بالقتال." The Messenger prepared his forces for battle, and his army was 700 men. He appointed Abdullah bin Jubair from Bani Amr bin Auf to lead the archers, who were 50 men. The Prophet said to them, "انضحوا الخيل عنا ولا نؤتين من قبلكم وزموا مكانكم إن كانت النوبة لنا أو علينا وإن رأيتمونا تخطفون الطير فلا تبرحوا مكانكم." The Prophet wore 2 protective shields and gave the flag to Musab bin Umayr of Bani Abd ad-Dar. The Prophet also allowed some young men to participate in fighting, but not others, whom he allowed to participate in the Battle of Al-Khandaq 2 years later. The Quraysh mobilized their forces of 3,000 men with 200 horsemen on each flank. They appointed Khalid bin al-Walid to lead the right side of the horsemen and Ikrimah ibn Abi Jahl on the left side. They also gave their grand flag to the tribe of Bani Abd ad-Dar. Allah willing, we will mention the details of this battle later on, if Allah wills. Allah said here, وَإِذْ غَدَوْتَ مِنْ أَهْلِكَ تُبَوِّئُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ مَقَاعِدَ لِلْقِتَالِ. When you left your household in the morning to post the believers at their stations for the battle, designating them to various positions, dividing the army to the left and right sides, and placing them wherever you command them. Wallahu Samirun Alim. He hears what you say and knows what you conceal in your hearts. Allah said next, إِذْ هَمَّتْ طَائِفَتَانِ مِنْكُمْ أَن تَفْشَلَا 3:122.